Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you hear me okay. All right, good morning. All right, give me just 2 seconds, guys. I want to get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Give me another sound check. Let's make sure. Let's make sure the sound is good. I'm back. I just had to go get a cup of coffee. All right. I am possibly going to get triggered on this trade. Let's see if that works. Okay. I'm on this trade. I'm going to take it at 4. Let's see if this works. So I'm long this trade in futures right now, NAS, off a very, very interesting analytical structure that I want to show you. Bear with me just 1 sec. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Damn it. Okay. I'm going to bring you the trading view chart because it's much easier to see this on trading view charts than anything. Looks like I'm going to get hit. Am I going to get hit? Almost. Damn. All right, close. Super close. Come on. Let's get in there. All right. Let me ignore this. Okay. So let me explain. This is much easier to see on futures. Let me just. Looks like I got it. Am I getting hit? I'm gonna close it out. I'm just gonna close it out because I don't want to. Okay, that was a nice profit. Let me explain to you, and that would have gone to full profit. Let me explain to you what the thought pattern is here, and I think you guys are really, hopefully, gonna appreciate the logic. Damn it! Now it really skyrocketed as I knew it would. But so I was fooling around. Basically, I'm trying to figure out the central philosophical question is: when do you want to trade Mr. Continuation? When do you want to trade Mr. Reversal? Right? It's really the central question to the success of our strategy. When is continuation, like when do we want to trade the buy side? When do we want to trade the sell side? So if you want to trade the buy side, the sell reversals, buy continuations are all getting taken. If you want to trade the sell side, the buy reversals, the sell continuation trades are all getting taken, right? Sort of like a very, very simple principle of what we want to be doing, right? So I had this interesting epiphany that I think is just right for our day trading strategy, and it's kind of it's all within the structure that we've already been trading. And let me just kind of run it by you, and you guys tell me what you think. So the idea is based, I realized that when I was looking at all this stuff, I was whenever we are in an uptrend, you're going to get higher highs. Whenever we're in a downtrend, we're going to get lower lows, right? And if you can establish what environment you're in, if you're in near-term uptrend or near-term downtrend, then it becomes obvious what we want to do. If we're in a near-term on trend, we buy the sell reversals, we buy the buy continuities. If we're in near-term downtrend, we sell the buy reversals and we sell the sell continuities. Right? Does that make sense? But the answer is easy. The question, which is much harder, is how do you know what environment you're in? And what, how do you work off higher highs and higher lows? And I had this epiphany that I think makes a lot of sense, which is, since everything is subjective, the only way we can normalize and make an objective assessment of whether we're making higher highs or higher lows is actually not of price, but off the moving averages, and more specifically off the moving average crossover. So the idea here is sort of very, very simple. You have let me show you the clean buy side, and then I'll show you the reversal sell side. So here's a moving average over here, right? You with me? Blue goes above black, right? And the next moving average is over here. Now this one just doesn't have any signals for us. And then we have the next one over here. And the point being is that this one is pretty much, it's either the same or higher, and certainly higher than this prior one if you kind of ignore it. So effectively, we have a higher high moving average crossover. That's really what we're focusing on, right? You with me? Once we have a higher high moving average crossover, then the puzzle is very, very simple. We just buy the buy continuity. In this case, this actually just goes against you a lot, but you still survive. You have to have wide stops because of the volatility, but you survive. It's if you have a 15 stop or higher, you certainly survive it. And it goes through, or you buy the sell reversals, which in this case the sell reversal over here gets done and then it goes higher, right? And if you want to, and what I've been trying to do is just kind of take the first signal in trend as my highest probability trade, and then just wait for the next crossover, right? And so the same logic flips around the other way. So here we have a moving average crossover to the downside. It's a downtrend, right? Now, when you look at the last time we had a moving average crossover in this chart, it was lower. So we have a higher crossover, which means that we're actually in a buy. We're making higher highs. So we're in an uptrend, not in the downtrend, right? If the moving average crossover to the downside was lower, like let me just sort of show you. Like I actually traded this example. Like over here, this moving average crossover is lower than this one, right? Then all we're doing is we're going to be looking for sell possibilities, so, failure trades or continuity trades off the buy. In this case, for example, if you want to get bigger, I'll show this to you. This is a very good example. So moving average crossover here, the next moving average crossover to the downside is lower. It's clearly a lower low, negative bias. In this case, it was very minor negative bias, but it still worked for me. So I see negative bias. At this point, this is this candle isn't made. I just see the crossover, and my view is, I'm going to just sell the break of whatever the prior arrow candle was. In this case, the buy candle, I'm going to sell the break of this because I'm negative bias. So I put a sell onto the low of this candle. It broke actually on this candle, may take profit. You can see that in. We're really breaking out rather nicely. Nice rally right over here. So if you look at this, so moving average crossover to the downside, right? The next one was this. Essentially is actually in this particular chart is equal. It's as long as it's equal or lower, I'm going to be negative bias, right? So then I simply use this. Sorry, where is this? What did I do? Why did I sell this? Oh, no. I'm sorry. Yeah. So in this particular example, this is a little bit different time slice. In this particular example, I'm negative bias because the moving average crossovers were equal or lower, right? If it's equal or higher, then I'm going to be positive bias. But in this case, I'm negative bias because it shows me that I'm still in a downtrend. So what I did, I actually sold the buy reversal candle. I sold that to the downside. That made money. Boom, boom, boom. Super easy, right? Now here I have a positive crossover, and in the retrospect, it would have it totally worked, but of course. I'm not taking this trade because the last time we had a crossover was higher. So therefore, I don't have a legitimate reason to get long yet. I don't have a legitimate reason to get long yet. As a matter of fact, I'm still staying short, and this is the whole thing. I'm still staying short because the crossover was from a lower point. So my orientation now is to sell failures, not buy breakouts. So in this case, what I did is this is a positive slice, but I'm going to be selling failures, and I sold this failure over here. This was the trade. Boom, boom, and then it wasn't much, but we're not looking for much. It totally made money, right? Now this gets positive bias, right? Then this gets positive bias. I wasn't watching. Oh no, I was watching the charts. So this gets positive bias, and so now I'm higher lows. Now I turn my whole orientation positive. This is the buy arrow candle. I'm looking for a reversal of sells. It gets reversed over here, super easy. And I made money over here, right? So the whole point is what I'm looking for right now, where do we stand? This is a moving average crossover to the upside. This is a moving average crossover to the upside, clearly much higher. Positive orientation, right? Right now I am in a positive orientation, which means all I'm looking for is sell arrow reversals or buy arrow continuities, right? And until this moving average slice changes its shape or form, that's my orientation of where I want to be. If I want to be right now, all the opportunities I want to be looking at is from the buy side. And all I care about is where's the reference candle and how do I turn that reference candle into a buy side trade. Now, three things are going to happen. I'm going to be completely right. It's going to make money. I'm going to be wrong, but it's not going to make money. But it's not going to hurt me because it's not going to trigger, or I'll be wrong, right? So 2 out of 3 situations, I'm going to be I'm only going to be wrong one third of the time. In a philosophical format, but obviously in a statistical format, I hopefully should only be wrong just 20% of the time in this structure. The point being is, by doing this, it answers the very, very important question of, okay, should I be long or short in the way I configure my my arrow trades, right? And that's gives us like that final objective analysis of how we should be configuring our structures. Does that make sense to everybody? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? So, yesterday we were talking about the idea we have trend, signal, trade, right? And I think that's a little too simplistic, because what we really should be looking at is trend. What kind of a trend? True trend or false trend, right? So that's sort of like it, in a pejorative sense. False trend means that we have a lower high buy side crossover or a higher low sell side crossover. If we have a false trend, that I'm actually looking for the arrow signals for arrow signals to be repudiated, to be falsified. If I have a true trend, then I'm looking for those arrow signals to be confirmed. And that, by orienting myself in that way, I'm hopefully much more on the right side. Basically, the whole point is I want to be on the right side of the bigger trend that's coming through, right? And that keeps us within our analytical structure. We don't have to, I was fooling around with the idea, well, what if the market is up? What if the market is down? What if it's up by 25 basis points or 50 basis points? What is the environment? What is the funda background? All of those things are utterly and completely subjective. They're totally subjective in the analytical framework. And if we want to try to create a purely mathematical objective framework. In other words, the price tells us the truth. We want to trade. The whole essence of what we're trying to do here is that the price tells us the truth, and we want to trade that truth in the best possible way we know how. So that's that's sort of my my thoughts for the day. You guys let me know. While you guys are digesting this, let me launch the CFDs, which I haven't even launched yet. I haven't even looked, and then this will give us a good chance to analyze them. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can. I need to share sound. I want to share sound. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to share sound. And in all of this, the audibles are so valuable in both ways. So the audibles, the second component of audibles, which I'm going to be working on, is the crossover signal, right? I don't know if we're ever going to be. I think the ability to say, upside crossover, higher high, might be a little too. It might be complicated. It might be too much complexity for the algo to do accurately. I'll ask Daniel if he can code that, because I know he's going to have to. Basically, you have to array the variables. The computer always constantly has to keep in its memory reference points, and I think that the code to that could get very, very faulty. So to me, we have to rely on our visuals, which is nothing. I mean, all you have to do is just simply say, oh, where is this relative to the other? And then you can just reorient yourself. But the most important thing is to be cued audibly as to what's going on. So if I'm cued to the crossover, then I'm cued to the arrow angle, I can completely and quickly structure a trade off of that. That puts me hopefully on the right side of the bigger trend and on the proper side of execution, right? Does that make sense to everybody? I don't see anybody responding to me. Is everybody lost? Abdul, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Dow continuation buy.
Yeah, absolutely. Last cross is a higher cross, because this really, if you look at this on the chart, right, Jonathan is saying, is this a legitimate upside cross? In other words, do we have a buy side bias? We definitely have a buy side bias. This is the last cross over here was over here, and this upside cross is clearly higher than the prior upside cross. So we clearly have a buy side bias here, right? So so we certainly have a legitimate claim here. I'm looking at the futes, and let me just align all of this. Oh no, sorry, this is my CFDs. Sorry, I'm looking at the CFDs. Actually, let's take so while I'm going to cycle through the charts right now and kind of talk you through the structure. So let's analyze the structure. So clearly, we're looking at Dow. Dow, upside cross here, right? Upside cross. Last time, the upside cross is when is the last time the blue came above the black? Blue came above the black higher. We're an upside bias. This actually, I should have been buying here. This is a buy trade, right? Which I don't know why I don't have my. Get over here. All right, let's just for fun and giggles. I just bought the Dow here. Although, of course, I'm late, and it probably would have already TP'd. But let's just play this game, because, and actually, again, I'm super late, because the true buy side trade. This is a buy side orientation. We should have been buying here. This would have made TP here. So this is a very, very late trade. It's almost destined to fail here at this point. But it's just here for demo purposes to sort of explain the concept. Why would you take the continuation trade here? Well, because you're in a buy side bias. This is actually the second candle, so it's clearly the weaker signal off the first candle. The first candle was a reversal sell. That would have been a good one. And see, that's the reason why, I'm just late on the trade. Is it turned myself into a chase trade just for curiosity's sake. So no, it's not, it's not a legitimate trade. It's probably going to stop us out. But I just wanted to show this to you in the analytical framework that that it is. German is this is interesting. So looking at the German right now, yeah, the German, this is an upside here, an upside here is higher or equal is good enough. So I have a positive bias on the German, and then the euro does not have a positive bias. The euro, this is an upside. The upside here is lower, so I really don't have a legitimate.
Dow reverse sell.
What was the reverse sell? Dow? Oh, Dow reverse sell. So the true trade here, and I think because of CFDs, I can actually do this. Let me see if I can do this. Can I set the? Oh, I can't. Let me see if I can do this. Shh, quiet. It's 21 seconds. I'm just setting this up, just like what would be a quasi-legitimate trade on here on this thing would be if it cleared this reverse sell candle, it would be mildly legitimate trade here. It's already a second or third candle in the sequence, but at least I have a reference source, and I'm not going to be late as I was with a manual trade. So let's just give it a shot. What the hell? It's worth a shot here. If it can hold, it needs to hold that high, close through it. That would trigger a second trade, which is effectively going to be very much similar to the trade we're already in. We're floating a trade. We're going to try and trigger a trade to the principles, and to see if that works. And then while this is hanging, we just take a look at the cable. Cable does not have. Oh no, cable does have. Sorry, I take it back. Cable is actually very, very similar to Nasdaq. Upside bias, upside bias. So if I have any kind of a signal here, I'm going to orient myself to the upside on cable, right? So this did not trigger a sell side reversal yet. It's a very spiky ass trade. Why is this spread so? I wonder if this is the. This is not the race. It's a $3 spread on this thing. Wow. All right. I think why is it such a wide spread? Is there? I haven't even looked at the futures. I guess the futures must be really wide too. If they're $3 spread on the Razor account, futures must be two or three wide. Let me look at the futures side here. Huh. Yeah, they're too wide on the futures, so that's why they're so wide on the CFDs. All right, so looks like we're gonna get
pound dollar by continuation arrow.
Okay, so pound dollar. Remember I said that's let's go over here. Pound dollar is a buy setup for us, right? So let's just trade. This is actually a legitimate trade for us. Let's just do this, and I want to get the proper. Where am I? Sorry, guys. Hopefully, I'm not gonna get. Okay, so it's got to trigger off this buy continuation. It's got to beat the high on the buy continuation move here. Okay. Spreads on the Dow really make it a challenge here to make a measly 5 points. We came in like within a half a spread. Surprise, spreads are so big. Okay, so our original trade got done for 5, and now we're trading the quasi-legitimate trade, the um, the sell side reversal. Although, frankly, we should have been in this trade already, as I said to you. We are at this point. This also not a higher quality caliber trade, but I'm letting it float. Just to give you an idea, the important thing is to show you the orientation structure, and then hopefully prove that even if you're just doing a million different things wrong, that being right on the orientation structure generally puts you on the right side of the battle here, and allows you to survive the 50 million different things that are. Oh, is this where did I enter? Is this my entry? Wow, let me see. Oh, holy shit. Look at the spreads. Wow, so this had to beat the spread. This is, if this thing makes TP, it'll be a Herculean achievement here. So it's gonna make like 85. It's gonna go 10 points just for me to make 5 points. What a shitty spread this is today. Okay. Okay, so that should be a curiously interesting thing. So for us on the pound, we're basically trying to trade
NASDAQ continuation arrow.
Okay, so NASDAQ continuation arrow, right? This is the first signal inside this thing, and that's a legitimate signal for us. Let's see if we can set ourselves up for this move. I guess it's over here. 6, 7. NAS is like 1. Why? NAS is better than. I'm surprised that the liquidity in NAS is better than it is in the Dow, but it is what it is. Okay, so it's an upward slice. We have a buy side arrow. All the caveats as usual. We got literally. I'm putting a trade in. What are we at? At 3 minutes. 3 minutes to the open. So you just you're begging to get stopped out on volatility. But again, it's just for informational purposes only, and maybe we get the big breakout on the open here that carries us. The more important thing is that we're trying to orient ourselves to the right side of the market, which is really what we want to do. We got 35 seconds, so still like a forever time zone. Where are you guys? Do I have any comments from you guys? Paul says Dow is always a bad spread for him, giving up on it. Huh? Yeah, I think Paul. This is the reason. I mean, and futures are not better. I think it's a liquidity issue because futures are really illiquidous crap in the Dow as well. So the way to overcome for us on that is to consider Dow as more of a longer term, like even 5-minute charts with larger stops, larger targets might be a more interesting trade on the Dow. But yeah, it's a secondary instrument. It really is a secondary instrument. I'm actually curious. Where the German has no. What are the spreads on the German? German are a little better. The spreads on the German are a little better. What's this? This is the Dow. And NAS not triggering. And as I said to you, right, remember there's 3 scenarios. It triggers and I'm right. It doesn't trigger and no harm, no foul. And it triggers and I'm wrong. So already in two scenarios, I'm in an advantageous place. And then it's just a matter of statistics and probabilities. How good is my sample set? How strong is my signal within that stuff? So this just put me into the NDX. NDX actually just almost came up to 5. And I guess NDX the Dow got done. So the Dow got done. And now the NDX would, now this is the market open. So let's see if we got any kind of juice on the market open here. And I guess, yeah, I guess it also got done. It's just, sorry, this they were slow on the speed, but both the Dow and the Nasdaq got done. You could see this much clearer, much better on the futures. I should have done the futures trade, but I was just trying to show you guys on the NDX trade. So both got done, both within the structure of what we were looking for, which is to be on the right side of God, otherwise known as market. And this puts us in a really strong analytical framework, right? To make the trades. So is a good example of like horrible positioning, late structures, everything else still managed to make money in the Dow on 2 trades. And in the Nasdaq, the positioning was okay. It was dangerous to be in front of the market, but the market gave us a buy side bias signal. We took it, super easy, right? So there you go. So overall, 15 points because we answered the single most important question you want to answer, which is, what side do you want to be on here? Where's, I guess, or the question is, where's the winning side? So yeah, now we're getting the usual ramp, rampy ramp on the NAS. Oh, good for you, Paul. Look at this. Dow 12, Dow 36. Oh, you traded that to the long? You traded that just sort of like in
Euro dollar buy reversal arrow.
Okay, euro dollar buy reversal arrow. Where's the euro dollar? So we had a buy side bias on cable. We don't have a buy side bias on the euro just yet because this crossover is below this crossover. We still don't have a buy side bias. Where's cable? Is cable doing anything? No, cable, see this cable just falling away, not triggering our trade, not really hurting us right now at all. So with the euro, oops, where am I? So here's the interesting thing. So no, I don't have any setups here. The buy side crossover is low. The sell side crossover, because this is the sell side, the prior sell side is high, right? I have a higher sell side crossover. So I don't really have a legitimate sell signal. I don't really have a legitimate buy signal. Look at the ramp on NAS. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, that's great. So I don't have any signals on the euro until I get a legitimate crossover, right? Cable, I have nothing. Where's the German? German is soaring too, but German has absolutely no signals for us right now. So there's nothing going on here. And the Dow had its, the Dow signals were all over here. They were all signaling that, that it was going to be a buy side bias construction. Anybody else trade the NAS besides Paul? Oh, there we go. Good job, Connie. What about Jonathan? Jonathan, you take the NAS trade? Good job. All right. Excellent. I'm glad everybody did this. But I think, you guys agree with me that this is a very interesting analytical breakthrough, that it helps us, especially during market, pre-market and market opens, really read the bigger message of the market and stay on it. Now, it's not a panacea. It doesn't mean that like, oh, I have a buy side bias, I'm going to take every single buy side signal on this move. That's a separate question. That question is, how long do you think this buy side bias persists, right? Like that's a question I don't have any statistical confidence in answering. I know that if I have a buy side bias and the first signal off that bias is going to have very high probability, 80% probability that I'm going to be correct in my structure. The next question is
German reverse sell.
German reverse sell. Okay, let's see what this should be the first one over here. Where's my thing? All right, let's look at the Germans. Okay, so I don't even, where's the I think this is, are we on the upside? So this crossover crossover to the upside. We have a bias, positive bias in the German. Oh no, sorry, this is Dow. I'm sorry. This is the German. Yeah, this is a positive bias. We should be buying this. Where's my thing? 25. So I'm not set up for this, but let's just give it a shot. Okay, so what should we be buying? We have 12 seconds left. It looks like we're right at the top here. So we should be buying this. Where's my thing? Oh, what's going on? Oh, man, I'm having a hard time with this thing. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to go this. I'm gonna have to do this manually, just because nothing. This thing is just complete. Didn't work on me because I was late on the applet. So I'm gonna try and do this manually and just this is really annoying. And I want. Is it 50 points? Yeah. Okay. I guess. I forgot how to even do this manually. Oh, or whatever. Should be 500 points. Okay, it got me out. Sorry, I completely butchered this German trade because but it very much played to spec because if you came in here at 70,
German continuation buy.
You bought the 70s, it went all the way out to 77. So if you had 5 points on it, you certainly made the P&L. So sorry for screwing it up. I for some reason I have to reset. These are all beta applets, and I got to just talk. I'm having for some reason when I'm running so many charts, and at this point maybe I don't need the double charts. I seem to be having a lot of stress because I guess I'm running 4 different screens on the computer with the CFD account. Also, this is a 4, and I wonder because you see how much faster and responsive 5 is to everything. I'm wondering if I should just simply run everything on 5. Maybe I'll do the CFDs on 5, and that will solve tomorrow. Next week I'll reset everything up on 5. In the meantime, this is just like it's so out of bounds at this point. We got nothing. On the NAS. The NAS just completely skyrocketed. But you look at this and you go, oh, why didn't we take the bigger piece? And the answer to that is because that's not the trade we do. We don't have any unique and specific knowledge as to whether it's going to really skyrocket or not. Now we could make all sorts of fundamental guesses. We could say, yeah, we survived the coup. We're no longer a fascist country. We have a reasonable president coming in. These are all positive things. And yes, but from there to prognosticating that it's going to be a 50, 60 point burst on the open, it's really hard. We don't have any edge in forecasting that. That's why I don't even bother. What we do have an edge is in being able to read the price action and stay disciplined to that price
Dow
action.
reverse sell.
Right? And stay within that structure. So here's Dow, like kind of interesting. Looking at the Dow, right? Dow has a upside bias. We already took the upside trade. We really, at this point, we don't, and these are all very late signals, so that it doesn't have any legitimate meaning to us, for the upside. It's more interesting to take a look at the currencies right now. Euro also not giving us anything because Euro's falling away. This is a higher low. So even though it's falling, we don't have it from our analytical framework. We don't really have. I mean, it would have been easy to short these, these candles, but it wouldn't have been a legitimate trade because you had a higher high crossover, right? And we really need what we need is a lower high crossover. And same thing here. So this is a crossover. This is actually my mistake. I was focusing on one side without really analyzing the other side. This would have been a good trade for us had we been a little bit more analytical with this. Here's a downside crossover in cable, right over here, and this one over here. And then the next time it falls is over here. It's a lower low crossover. We should have taken the buy side reversal over here at 88. That would have been a great trade. I just too many things going on for me to have caught all that. But that would have been a legitimate trade to
Nasdaq reverse sell.
Okay. So here's the thing that makes this interesting. It's very tempting to say, oh, this is a reversal signal. It's grossly overbought, and it definitely works. Like in other words, if we play around with this, let's just again, theoretical purposes only. We actually have to have a confirmation of the signal. So far, we don't even have that. Let's just play this, just for argument's sake. So what I need is the candle to break below the lows and hold the lows in order for this to be a legitimate reversal sell, right? So you could say, yeah, this sort of, we could make a reversal sell. But remember that when we're doing this, we're stepping outside of our analytical framework. Our analytical framework says there is no legitimate sell signals right now because the broader picture is net positive. So, and this is why I really like this analytical framework, is because it keeps you. Maybe there are positive trades here in taking the opposite side of the market, but they're not high quality, high probability trades. So this trade could work, could not work, but it's one of those kind of trades that is not high probability simply because the dominant trend right now is to the upside. And what could happen here is easy, trip in, minor retrace, and then a huge ramp back up, right? Whereas if this was a genuinely lower high on a buy side breakout, then a break to the low side would be much more substantiated. And that's the advantage of this. It keeps you from doing stupid trades, which is what we're doing right now, by
Nasdaq continuation buy.
Right, yeah, it's just ramping and it's ramping and it's ramping, and you could spend the next half hour chasing the reversal move. You could just say, okay, you know what? If this buy side breaks, that's going to be the reversal move that I want to take, and that's fine. That's fine to do, but that's not the setup that we're trading in class. It's just another opportunity to trade, but not the opportunity, not the structure that we want to trade, right? Because what we want to take is we want to take 85% winners. And this is clearly not going to be an 85% winner setup. You're going to be lucky sometimes, unlucky other times. This is just basically for shits and giggles trade. But it's possible, and it's still within the more micro aspects of our
euro dollar sell continuation arrow.
Okay, euro. So is euro still in a sell now? So what do I have? What do I have in the euro? So this is buy side, sell side to the low side. I don't have anything on the euro to confirm positioning right now. The sell side was higher. The buy side was lower. This is one of those really weird situations where everything is the other way around. And it's interesting, the dollar's getting stronger against a positive, really strong positive risk momentum. So that's the first time we're seeing divergence here. Maybe the dollar is grossly oversold. Where's the German? Okay, so interesting. Okay, let's look at this. So German has a downside crossover, which is higher, right? So that's a false
Dow continuation sell.
So it's basically a false sell environment, which means what I want to do is, if it's a false sell environment, I want to see if I could set up buy structure. man, this is just not working here. Why is this not working? I don't know what's going on here, guys. Something wrong with the German. Okay, maybe that applet wasn't working. Okay, this side. So let's just set this up. Okay, so big, 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 big. So if this is a false, I want to be taking buy sides in this false, because this is a downside break that's higher. So it's essentially, the buy side is still to the upside. So I want to trade my buy side to the upside. What do we do here? Do I have a? Oh, okay. So here's our reversal trade, fund trade. And, as I said, it may work, may not work, but it came in super, super close, and it could just rip our faces up now because that's all you had. Not a high probability trade because the overall bias here is to the upside, but it's so grossly overbought. We may get lucky, and the overbought condition is going to resolve to the downside as they take some profits. I mean, we're certainly, if we're gonna fade the move, you certainly want to fade outside of the moving averages, way on the outer band of price, because that's really where you want to be positioned on the move. And where am I? Oh man, what's this again? Spreads not doing it for me, but let's see. Wow, frick. Okay, let's see if we do this. May not. It's gonna run away. We missed the opportunity because the spreads were just
German continuation buy.
Okay, German. Okay, so we already had the buy side set up, so I really don't have any kind of legitimate German trade. What was on the Dow? The Dow, where's the Dow? So Dow has, oh, is that the Dow that I just set up on the buy side here? Why do I have this buy side in the Dow? Oh, that must be the buy side. Yeah, this is a false buy in the Dow. I was talking. Oh yeah, it's a false buy side. It's a false meaning that this sell-off is higher low. Therefore, my view is the buy side dominates, and therefore I'm willing to take the reversal sell candle breakout of this move and let that play itself out if it does.
Nasdaq continuation buy.
That must be on the futures. Yeah, it's on the futures. And this is exactly how the Nasdaq trade is going to run away from us, because the spreads weren't there, and because we're fading against a very, very strong uptrend. But we may still get lucky. The only reason why we could get lucky in this trade is it's so grossly overbought that there's still some profit taking dynamic going on. But again, betting on profit taking or betting on bargain hunting is a weaker proposition, even though hopefully it might work. Where is this? Is it working finally? Jesus, what is up with this thing? That's unbelievable. Okay, there we go. Finally, wow. I think there must be a delay in the feed on this thing. My apologies. Anyways, betting on profit taking and betting on bargain hunting is a weaker proposition than betting on market flow. That's all I'm saying. It worked in this case, wonderful. It worked in this case for one primary reason. It was so grossly overbought that there was ample room for profit taking, but it was just that much. It was 4 or 5 points, and then after that, you're on your own. It could just rip, in your face right away. It's just as tempting as that trade is, it's just not the best way to trade. You install, guys, when you say to me something is not working, you might as well tell me to read your mind, okay? I don't have a fucking clue of why your stuff is not working because I don't have access to your computer. So if you want my help, you need to take a screenshot of what you did, okay? You need to document to me what you're doing, and then come back to me, and I'm happy to show it to you. Whatever you're doing, I guarantee you 99.9% of the time, it's your fault, okay? The thing clearly works. It's been battle tested all the way around. but I'm happy to help for you, but I can't read your mind. So I can't tell you what to do, Subash, okay? What you need to do is take a screenshot of your stuff, tell me what you did, document every step, and then I'll be happy to correct it. And I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at everybody in the room who comes back to me and says, hi, my stuff is not working. What can I do? How the fuck should I know? Okay? You got to help me to help you. But that's it. Okay, great job, Connie. You found me on a NAS trade because what the hell, right? It was worth a shot. Good job for you, Connie. I'm glad you you hung in there. What do we got over here? Shabazz, don't mean to yell at you. I just went off on you, not because of you. It's just that this happens to me all the time with people, and I totally understand it. That you're just, you're lost, you want help, but in order for me to help you, you got to help me. So that's all. That's all I'm saying. So my apologies for blowing up. I'm just, I get frustrated with tech support because I want everything to work. And I'm actually, to make life easier, I did have some really interesting. I'm going to use Looms. We're going to use Looms, which those of you who don't know, it's like this really cool software that helps me make videos of the desktops or the tabs that, like, in 3 minutes, show you how to set up one thing, set up another thing, just all the little things. I'll be able to show to you visually. I'm just in the middle of a million different projects, but on this weekend, I'm going to try and create a whole bunch of Looms so that there'll be, how do you install this? How do you install that? How do you install this? Should be all, right then and there. Because trust me, when I'm on the other side of it, like when I have to put together a table or a tool or any other idiotic thing that every company sends me with these mute instructions, I totally understand your position. You're like, how the hell am I supposed to know this? There's zero explanation as to what it's doing. But anyways, I'll try to do the best I can. Where are we here? This is all, so Dow is basically doing what my strategy too, which is no harm, no foul. We're in a false sell environment that's not triggering any buy trades because the buy trades are improving themselves, which is fine. We're gonna let that play itself out. So we really don't have any legitimate trades to the buy side on the Dow. NAS is staying in a very, very strong buy trend with the moving averages haven't even begun to cross over. The German is still in a strong buy trend. I mean, we're just sort of we're basically in what I call the super trend environment. And this is the one thing we can't predict. The strategy can't predict a super trend environment or a super reversal environment. All we can do is predict the first trend environment or the first reversal environment. And that's what we're going to focus on. You got to know your limitations in order to be successful. So much as I would love to be able to have caught this and sold it all the way down for 300 points, that's not what we do. And it's just as important to know what we don't do as it is to know what we do. So for all my ranting and raving, we actually did okay. NAS was plus 10. No currency trades today. German was a trade, and the Dow. I mean, even though I can't, in no good conscience can I count the Dow trades because they really were just ridiculously out of what is it, off field? Is that what is the soccer expression, the football expression? Offside. They were totally offside because they were so way above where they should have been. I say there's no way I'm going to count that as a legitimate, but they still worked because we had the larger picture on our side. So, there we go. How do we enter the line at the top or bottom? Let me show you, let me see what you're asking me, Mel. Maybe I can show this to you. Okay, so let's just do this as with a Dow as an example, right? So you hit the buy or the sell button just to populate the candle close price. So I'm going to hit the buy button and it populates the candle close price. And remember, if the population is underneath the offer, it's not going to execute. So now it's just starting to rally. So what I need to do is let's just hit it 40. I'm just going to hit it like a really big number, right? So I need to configure the numbers above the current price in order for it to print. Then once it prints on the chart, it's completely drag and drop, and I can totally drag and drop based upon the arrow settings. So in this case, this is a bad example because we don't even have any arrow settings that are close by. Let's look at anywhere we can find
Dow reverse buy.
Dow reverse buy. Okay, so we're going to play this game now the other way. So we're going to buy this, right? And here's the thing: the arrow is close to the upper edge. The thing is, it will not bring the arrow unless the price comes below the arrow. I can't move the arrow lower. I can only move it higher. You see, the arrow won't go lower. So unless the candle retreats, it's just going to have to stay here, which is a little bit above this thing. But so be it. So you have a big breakout. This is a legitimate trade. Although what's going to happen here is, I guarantee you, we're not going to be able to. The trade is not going to trigger because the move is 20 points. It's just a vicious upside move. So we have a volatility filter that's going to completely dismiss this trade. So you're going to see this trade not take place. You're going to see the arrow disappear and no trade trigger.
Euro dollar buy reversal arrow.
Because too much volatility, and that's another fail safe. But if this was a small arrow, we would have had a breakout trade that would have gone to the upside. So is that what you were asking? Yeah. So it's super easy once you can move those things up and down. Where's the euro dollar? Euro dollar was so euro now is, what is euro? Is euro in a legitimate sell? I don't even know what the euro is. I don't even know. We don't have any legitimate signals on the euro. The euro is not sell bias, not buy bias, because the sell crossover was too high, the buy crossover was too low. I guess you could, there's no legit. I'm going to be forcing a trade just for trade's sake, and I'm not going to do that because we do that so many times here with really idiotic responses. It was a sell bias, but it's very, very late in the move here. Very, very late in the move. So the sell bias trades were over here, to this side. And the reason why this was a sell bias was because it's clear that the crossover here was higher than the crossover here. Lower crossover confirms the sell bias, gives us a clear entry into the structure. So, I got nothing, guys. We got no more trades. But the trades that we had really worked pretty well. So it's a ripper. I got, now we just have to be patient. It's just, as I said, the super trend or super reversal moves we can't catch, and we don't even try to play in that game because that's not our game. But whatever with the game that we could play in, we played in pretty well today. So hopefully you guys got done. Connie, you're just chasing it, right? You're just like, screw it. I'm not even going to wait for the arrow to complete. NQ break or sell arrow now. Where's the over here? Is that what you're talking about, Jonathan? Sorry, we haven't. I haven't paid any attention. So we traded. We traded the reversal move over here. Which was not a legitimate move, but when it comes to, if you're going to make reversal trades, this was the one reversal trade you were going to make because it's clearly outside. And again, like right now, let's say we get either arrow, doesn't matter, whatever arrow we get at this point. If it's a sell, we're going to trade the sell continuation. If it's a buy, we're going to trade the buy failure. Again, that's a reversal setup. not nearly as good as what we should be trading. It's it goes into the territory of buy the dips, sell the rips, right? Um, but it's a lot of fun to do that. And my point is that if you're going to sell the rips and buy the dips, you only do it when you have the price structure setting up like this, where it's so far deviated from the moving averages, it's so far outside the normal distribution of price that you have some legitimate reason to think that the rips are going to come in and the dips are going to pop. Does that make sense, Jonathan? So, like, as a matter of fact, right now, we don't even have, I don't think we have any, does the futures have a signal? The futures doesn't, we have no signals anywhere. So to trade this, and we can hang, let's just see if we get a signal here. To trade this, we need a signal first.
Pound dollar buy reversal arrow.
We need a violation of the signal. And yeah, these are all late signals for us. We don't have a buy bias on the pound, so we have no trades here. The sell bias is too late. And you see by the way how having this analytical structure, you are so much more selective. You're naturally more selective. The less stupid things you do, the more winning possibilities you have. But in order to do less stupid things, you have to have a way of not doing them. And this is a great way of not doing the stupid things, right? And look at it, same thing here. We haven't even, like a normal guy, a normal trader is going to say, I'm going to sell this rip. Look how far ahead it is from the moving average. Here's a tiny little sell arrow. Definitely profit taking isn't, this is the difference between gambling and trading, right? He's gambling here because he's got zero legitimate reason to think that this is a turn trade, aside from the fact that it's just a big rip. Big rip by itself is not a signal. We, on the other hand, are not even considering a trade here because we have no signals. We don't have a single arrow signal. When that pops up, only then can we consider a possible reversal trade. So these filters keep us from doing stupid things. Which one? What did you do, Jonathan? You're killing me. You sold over here somewhere? Where'd you sell? 1438 break. 1438 break. Let's take a look what the hell that was. Oh, up. Oh, you were trading. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. You were trading the upside? Oh, then you were doing the right thing. Oh, I'm sorry. No, then you are absolutely on the right side. I mean, the only reason I'm not taking the upside was because, again, it goes to the idea of super trend, right? But you were in trend, you got the signal, and you bet on super trend, and super trend worked. I mean, that's fine. That's a much higher caliber trade than trying to sell the rip. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. I thought you were trying to fade. But no, the super trend trade was certainly legitimate. I didn't take it just because that's not what I do. But like the last couple of days, trading the super trend trade would have been great because it's just breakout on steroids. It's beautiful, right? Sorry. So hopefully everybody understands what Jonathan did, which was the smart trade. Is we have the trend, we clearly are in the uptrend. He's basically fading the sell side arrow. In this case, this is the sell side arrow. The highs of the sell side arrow get broken over here. This is 14. You say 1438, Jonathan? What did you do? Which one did you take? This is 1454. Where's the 38? Oh, the arrow itself. This was the orientation arrow. You got into the trade over here, right? This is the orientation arrow. He got into the trade. By the way, so I'm glad you actually. So here's how you should trade this in the future, right? So we're over here. You're oriented over here. Then we get new arrows. As we get new arrows, we can update our positioning information. So this is a buy side arrow. This one is a little bit higher, so it doesn't matter. This is a buy side arrow with a clear lower barrier than this one. So I would have lowered the barrier, come in on this signal. It would have come in here. You came in on this, and you could have come in on this arrow. So the point is, you can adjust dynamically if you're not getting triggered. Wow, holy moly, you gotta love it. This is insane. Who is ripping the market? What the fuck is going on? Top Russian advisor, White House security resigns. Several. Is this the market? Is the market rallying because they're gonna do the 25th Amendment and they're gonna just fire Trump on the spot? I mean, that's really not a good reason for the market to rally because it doesn't matter. I already said that he is complete. Oh, maybe ISM came out. What else came out? What's going on over here? Oh, ISM. That's what came out. Now forget Trump is immaterial. ISM came out 57 against 54. That's a bullish move. Oh, that's good. That's good. So ISM came in strong. I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention to the data. And with our structure, we can very often just be completely. I mean, it's not a good idea to be ignorant, but it doesn't really hurt us to be that ignorant because the price reveals the market sentiment. We're trading market sentiment. Price reveals market sentiment, and we're taking that market. We're staying on the right side of market sentiment as we're trading this. So clearly, positive sentiment off the ISM is what ripped this thing up, and it took it all the way up there. So there you go. I'll take it. The only thing that kills you about the days like this is that you're sitting here twiddling your thumbs while the market is just ripping, because you can't participate on your setup. But still pretty good. Good job, everybody. So let me reconfigure. What do we do here? We did 10 NAS and 10 NAS and 5 DAX. I think that's it, right? I'm not counting the DAOs because the DAOs were bullshit trades. So I think that's all. That's really the only legitimate trades we did. We did the original NAS, the NAS that I did in my account, and that's it. We didn't have any currency trades today, correct? Yeah, none of the currency trades triggered. Okay, that's still pretty good. We continue to do well every day. Any final questions? Any thoughts on your mind, guys? Anything else you want to hit me with? Shubash, send me your
Dow reverse sell.
Send me your screenshot. Happy to take a look at it. Oh, okay. So we're in the Dow. Positive upside cross, clearly, because it's either got to be flat or positive. And this is upside cross is over here at 931. And here, this is like 945, clearly higher, right? So we definitely have a legitimate buy. Okay, right over here. Buy breakout. So if this breaks out to the upside, and assuming it doesn't kill my volatility moves, that should be a legitimate trade for us to give it a shot. Man, I'm having I don't know what's going on with this platform. It's just all wonky. All right, guys. I'll leave that off screen. I'll let you know what happens to that. And you guys have a great day. The Audible on MT4, all the Audibles should be on the candle close. On the candle close. Not intra candle. It's got to close. And I think MT5 too. The Audibles are only on candle close because it's only once the candle closes the Audible is triggered. It's not because intra candle would be defeating. Karen,
German continuation buy.
Oh shit! What was the continuation by? Oh, German. Okay, German is too extended for us. We're not there. Euro's not there. Now stretching out. I got I got to go, so we'll do that later. Okay, Miguel, how's everything with you? I haven't. You got to update us on your trades. Okay, so where's today? Today's Thursday, right? Tomorrow we're going to trade the non-farm payrolls. Kay is going to join us just sort of on a guest basis, but I'm going to trade non-farm payrolls in our regular webinar link at 8:15, not 9, but 8:15 for us. Okay, so and we'll trade yen, we'll trade euro yen, we'll trade a million different things. Just
Euro dollar buy reversal arrow.
Just for fun, just to see how well it trades, and apply the the rules to the to the fund of breakouts, and trade it that way. All right, guys, thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful day. Where's my thing? We're gonna close, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.